was the year prior Mark Price was dealing with injuries or was injured that season.
Yes.
Now, if you don't mind speaking a little bit, what was that like spending, I believe it was the first 2 years you spent kind of behind Mark?
Actually, it was 4.
It was the first 4 years, my apologies.
Yes,
Yeah. First 4 years behind Mark Price, kind of learning from that.
Yeah.
And then eventually they dealt him over to the Wizards, or was it the Wizards or the Bullets?
They called the Bullets back.
It was the Bullets at the time. Yeah.
There you go. Nice.
Bullets at the
Nice.
time.
Very nice.
I think that name is better anyways. Way better than
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
and...
I'm with you on that one.
And then
Not in this climate.
Not these days.
Yeah, we gotta
They had to
be
change
careful.
it.
Exactly. Too many ideas.
Yes.
And then eventually you becoming, the guy in Cleveland. But a little bit to start out, kind of, what was that learning under Mark for the first
Okay, make a long story short, to get the opportunity to know that I was going to be behind Mark Price was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
And I knew I had no pressure at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so Coach Lenny Wilkins, the great Coach Lenny Wilkins, Hall of Famer, he was my coach. First meeting was easy. The meeting was about 45 seconds. He said, all right, young fella, congratulations. He said that 27 a game that you averaged last year, that got you here. I don't need that. What I need is this. When I take Mark Price out the game, and if we up 5 points, when I put him back in, I want to be up at least 5 points. Not how many points you score in the quarter. None of that. You keep everything organized.
Oh.
And I would come in at either the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second. And I wouldn't even score a point. And got more pats on the back from the veterans for holding it tight. And that was my job my first 3 or 4 years, is to hold it tight. I want to be the best backup point guard all the time. I mean, of in the league. And they end up labeling me that later on.
Yeah.
But the reason why I got it was not because I was trying to do what grade school, high school, college. That got me here. My job is to hold it down with these vets. I got Larry Nance, Brad Daugherty, Mark Price, Craig Elo, Winston Bennett. I got all these veterans I got to take care of. Hot Rod Williams. I got to take care of people. And then if you get a little bone here, if you're wide open, knock it down.
There you
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Growing up, it took me a while. I think maybe I was like in middle school to realize, I'm watching highlights of you, seeing games of you in the league. You in the league fit more of a, I guess, quote unquote traditional point guard role as you're describing. And then once I got older, I'm looking back at highlights of you in college. I'm like, oh no, like, okay, like a bag in college. Like, I didn't think you was dropping 30, 35 here and there. So it's so crazy to me when I see that, because I tell dudes all the time when they're looking like certain prospects in the league now, like, oh, why isn't such and such making a cut? And correct me if I'm wrong, you got 2 decisions in the league. You want to play your game or play in the game.
Better believe it. I played against so many guys. You remember Kevin Ollie, Coach Kevin Ollie?
Yep. Coach at UConn? Yeah.
Brevin Knight, these guys?
Yep.
Okay. They never averaged probably double figures ever in their career.
Yep.
But you know what? They were smart. They wasn't late to team meetings. They wasn't late to flights.